Well, here's a quick time update of the Douglas County Commission meeting of March 20th. I'm Lloyd Higuera, and County Manager Steve Mokrohysky is here. And the first item on that agenda was commissioners discussing hiring an interim county manager, and they voted to approach Larry Werner, a former Carson City manager and also a former Douglas County employee, to take on the interim position. And of course, you are going to be leaving, and so we need an interim county manager while the commission gears up to hire a new manager. So tell us about Larry and the other things that are associated with that.
Sure. Yeah, Larry's, as you indicated, was a former Carson City manager. He's actually a Douglas County resident. He and his wife Marie live in Douglas County in the Carson Valley. They've been here since 1997 and since 1992 on and off prior to that. He was a Douglas County Public Works Director in 1992 and 93. He ran his own business, was a professional engineer, and very, I think, well respected as a strong manager and high integrity and honesty and competence. And so I think Larry will be a great fit, and people know him in the organization and in the community, and he's going to do a great job. So I'm excited about being able to work with someone to sort of transfer very smoothly the work that we're doing and make sure that the positive work that's happening continues to happen over the next several months as the board then pursues a recruitment for a new county manager. They selected Peckham and McKenney, which is an outstanding recruitment firm out of Sacramento. They looked at a number of regional recruitment firms and ultimately selected Peckham McKenney, who Douglas County has worked with in the past and is well respected in the field of city and county managers generally. So they'll be great to work with and work with the board in defining what they want in their next county manager and then how to go out and get that. And finally, the board approved adjusting the salary range, just as Carson City's Board of Supervisors did recently when they had to go out and replace Larry when he retired in Carson City. They adjusted that salary range to 140 to 180. Our board approved the salary range at $135,000 to $185,000 per year. And they did express an interest in making sure that and pursuing having that range come somewhere in the middle, likely 150 to 160,000. So I think that will be a productive process for recruitment and hiring of a new manager, and I'm sure Larry will do a great job here.
And we'll meet Larry on the next edition.
Yeah, we'll bring him in, we'll do the handoff here so everyone can see him and meet him.
Okay. Commissioners also gave direction to county staff on the consolidation of the 3 Lake Tahoe water systems.
This is a discussion that's happened now since 2006-07 for a long time. Aging water systems that Douglas County maintains, the Cave Rock Upway water system, the Zephyr Water Utility District, and the Skyland water system in Lake Tahoe. They were built decades ago. They were deteriorated, built privately. Douglas County took them over in the 90s, and we've now been having to work on creating a rate structure that is appropriate. The board approved the consolidation of the 3 systems, 1 monthly operation maintenance and existing debt rate at around $96 per month, and then the future capital costs will be separated by each system, and each system will pay a monthly fee for the capital improvements of those systems. We'll come back to the board likely the end of May for adoption of the actual rates, which will take effect July 1st, 2014.
Okay. And commissioners also heard a presentation on the Nevada state line to state line shared use path.
This is the continuation of the state line to state line bike path, the South demonstration project, which we launched last year. Hugely successful. People have come from all around the country and the world, and around 10,000 people, I believe, used it in July, the month of July, wow, 2013 alone. So this is the continuation of that path, and this was a public hearing on that environmental assessment. So good progress happening there to connect the 2 state lines between Nevada and California.
Okay. Also introduced was an ordinance to create a Judicial Services Department here in Douglas County.
And this is a discussion that the 4 judges, the 2 district court and 2 justice court judges have been working on to bring their 4 courts together and try to have the administrative and operational functions work efficiently and cost effectively. So they've created a court administrator, and they're bringing the county clerk functions under the Judicial Department. So it required an introduction of an ordinance, ultimately adoption of an ordinance to make that happen. some additional budget actions that are going to be requested from the courts for some increases in some certain areas, so we'll have some work yet to be done on the budget front, but I think generally this is a good operational plan.
Also approved was the 5-year transportation plan for the county.
And this is, as you've said, Lloyd, as a member of the Regional Transportation Commission, it's a good plan. We haven't always had the money to make that plan happen, but now we went 2 years ago from $300,000 a year for preventive maintenance, this year to $1.3 million, and next year we're shooting for $2.3 million per year, every single year that will go into road maintenance for preventative care of our larger collector roads in particular. So we're on the right path, haven't fully closed that gap, but we're starting to get there. This plan is the work that will set out how those funds will be implemented in the coming years.
Okay. Well, Commissioners heard a presentation from the Western Nevada Development District.
And this is the regional group that works with several counties in northwestern Nevada to pursue grant funding and make improvements in workforce development, infrastructure improvements, communication networking, and access to capital and other initiatives to create a really positive, thriving regional economy. We recognize we don't function, our economies don't function by county, they function by region, and so WNDD is working with that goal in mind.
Commissioners also approved a noxious weed cost share abatement program.
We've had a great partnership in Douglas County with our agriculture community, with our weed control staff, and with the state of Nevada, and with the Carson Valley Conservation District, come together and really attack noxious weeds. So it has a positive economic impact on the agriculture community. They can sell the certified weed-free hay at a higher price, and it has a positive impact on our public health, that the noxious weeds are eliminated or reduced significantly from our community. So this is a good partnership between local, public-private sector, as well as state-wide agencies.
Okay, also adopted was a resolution. This was relating to general obligation limited tax sewer refunding bonds.
And this is a good example of the impact of the upgrade in our bond rating. Standard & Poor's upgraded Douglas County's bond rating in 2014 by 2 notches, from A+ to AA. The result of that is we can go back out in the public market and refinance existing debt at lower interest rates. The result of this action is a savings to our sewer rate customers of $135,000. And so we're continuing to pursue those types of initiatives to capture our high bond rating and lower interest rates and save costs for taxpayers and ratepayers.
And Commissioners also approved a resolution concerning the financing of a water project through general obligation water bonds.
This relates to the Sierra Country Estates water system that Douglas County acquired through action by the state, and it was a failed water system, so investments need to be made there. We're accounting for this system separately, so all the costs that are required for this system will be borne by the residents who are served by that system. And so this debt will pay for those capital improvements in the future.
Okay, and finally, Commissioners approved an interlocal agreement between Douglas County and the East Fork Fire and Paramedic District.
Several years ago, East Fork Fire took over emergency management functions from the county. They're really well placed to manage emergency management functions more so than Douglas County is. And they didn't charge us for that cost for several years. Now they're coming and saying, you know, we really need to recover some of the costs for that. So they've developed a cost allocation plan, and then we have an agreement to phase in that annual cost up to $140,000 by fiscal year 16-17.
Okay, well, that's a quick time update on the actions taken by Douglas County Commissioners at their meeting of March 20th. I'm Lloyd Higuera with County Manager Steve Mokrohajski for the Board of County Commissioners Quick Time Update.